Welcome to the National Newspaper Publishers Association and the Black Press of America's extra special live broadcast. I'm joined by our president and CEO, Dr. Ben Chavis, a civil rights icon in his own right, and also a hip hop icon in his own right. Dr. Chavis starred in the movie Belly, directed by Hype Williams, and that starred DMX, Nas, and others. But most importantly, we have the man himself with us. In music and film and entertainment and life in general, the words great, mogul, legend, and icon are often used very loosely. But all of those accolades and any more you can think of certainly applies to our very special guest today. This man has sold tens of millions of records. And believe it or not, his film credits are nothing short of historic. 112 soundtrack credits, 72 actor credits, 35 producer credits, 12 composer credits, 11 writer credits. 9 of his movies have opened at #1 at the box office, and he is the only star in cinematic history to have at least 5 critically acclaimed and commercially successful movie franchises. We're talking Friday, Barbershop, Ride Along, Are We There Yet, 21 Jump Street. His films have grossed a mind-boggling more than $2 billion in domestic box office receipts. And oh, by the way, he's the founder of the wildly successful Big Three basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, from the West Side, Ice Cube. Thanks for joining us, Ice Cube.
Welcome, my man.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, man. It's an honor to be here with you, Doc. And thanks for that intro, man. I don't think I ever got an intro that good, man. I need to make sure you there when when I do something big, man, because that was a good one.
It's well deserved. It's well deserved. We're honored to be in your presence, Ice Cube, and we know you got a big movie coming out. The High Note. We've seen all of the trailers, man. You just continue to make history, man. We're so proud of you.
I really appreciate it. I'm just really, taking advantage of the opportunities that the Lord has blessed me with. So, I don't want to take nothing for granted. I'm not going to take a day off. And, it's good that, people enjoy the work that I do, and I'm going to keep it coming.
Hugh,
All right.
Let me
Well,
go ahead, Doctor.
We have all the Black Press of America watching from the National Newspaper Publishers Association. I just want to ask you a quick question, and I'll turn it back to Stacy. Ice Cube, in this climate of the coronavirus and the disproportionate negative, deadly impact it's having on Black America, as one of our cultural icons, one of our living legends, what is your word to Black America in 2020 about endurance, resilience? And we've had hard times before, but some say we've never seen anything like we're going through now. I think a word from you intergenerationally for our millennials as well as our elders. We want to hear from you. What's your word that you can give to Black America on this day?
Well, I think it's time for us to really, put our arms around each other. Everybody, have been on their own page for so long, since we done had these phones and these computers and all this stuff going on. Everybody has forgot to look at the importance of family and supporting each other. We've been through tougher times than this as a people. So I have no doubt that we're gonna come out the other side stronger and smarter. But we can't rely on other forces, the government, to really be the one who tell us everything we need to do to get out of this situation. We're gonna have to rely on each other, listen to each other, respect our elders, and understand, they've been through hard times. And this is a great time for us to rely on each other. We used to rely on each other a lot. Before I was born, I've heard of stories of community and things of when we had to really work with each other to survive. And then through integration, we forgot about what sustained us as a people and was happy to to spend our money elsewhere. But it's really time to look within and help each other.
Very good.
Absolutely. Q, 30 years ago, you went in the studio for the first time as a solo artist and came out with the seminal album, America's Most Wanted. 30 years later, it still stands the test of time. Tell us about America's Most Wanted and why is it still so popular?
I think America's Most Wanted was a nice change of pace at the time. You know, you had um, East Coast groups really dominating the charts. You had West Coast groups starting to make our name for ourselves, but it was few groups working together. Um,
Mhm.
Ice-T started, with Africa Islam and the Zulu Nation and all the people he was working with. And then I came right behind that working with the Bomb Squad. And it was cool to see the unity between the coasts. I think the record too has, a lot of truth in it that still is true today. Um, with the movie Straight Outta Compton, what was surprising was that the stuff we was talking about in the 80s was still relevant when the movie dropped in 2015. So it's the same with America's Most Wanted. It's not a nice thing that things aren't haven't changed. It's just the reality of the situation. So I think people can listen to that record and still feel the pain of everything that we're going through right now.
Absolutely. And Q, you after all the success of NWA, actually, I do have a question about that too. I read somewhere where NWA was not even allowed to go to their own listening party. What happened?
Well, we showed up. I guess it wasn't the kind of club that's used to letting guys like us in, and it was way away from from the hood. It was somewhere in Hollywood. So us coming up to the door, and they didn't believe that it was our party. It wasn't like now where everybody know your face from the first time you drop a record. Back then, if you didn't get your record or videos played on TV, nobody knew who you were. So the bouncers didn't believe us. The record company, it was a scuff. I mean, almost a scuffle. It was a little pushing. The record execs came out, and then the sheriffs came, and the sheriffs just made us leave. They wasn't gonna allow us in because it was so much commotion at the door, and they didn't care who we were. And so we went to go eat, and we was just sitting there, all of us sitting there complaining about it, eating our food, kind of laughing at only us, man, only us that this would happen to.
Absolutely.
Right. So, Gil, tell us about your new project that's coming, man. We've seen a lot of promotion on the high note, and we're going to help promote that in our black newspapers across the country. But give people sort of a preview, man. What can we expect from the high note?
Also, a great movie, about the music industry. But it's not a biopic. It's actually a cool story. I played a manager of a superstar by the name of Grace Davis. She's played by Tracy Ellis Ross, and I play her manager, a guy named Jack. Um, and it's the story is of the assistant of this superstar and how she goes from just being an assistant to, her dreams is to be a producer. And so it's her journey and the story of what she got to go through for one to be a assistant to a superstar. Everybody think they want to work for their favorite person, but do you really? Because you never know what they're gonna ask you to do. So that story is pretty cool, but it's a look, a little behind the curtain of what the industry is about. What a superstar who's been in the game for a long time, the anxiety that they may feel about new projects versus you know, their old projects. So it's a good movie. It's a great movie at this time because we can't go to concerts. The music is great. The music is produced by Rodney Jerkins, Dark Child. So the music is on point. That's the reason I did the movie, because I knew, you know, if the music was great, you know, the story was amazing. So I think it's something people can kick back and enjoy. May 29th, it dropped. You can watch it in your living room, get it on pay-per-view. So, you know, The High Note, that's the new one.
Well, Q, for all of our viewers, and it's a lot of them out there right now looking at you right now. That's a great intro to the clip of the movie we want to show right now.
People want Grace Davis, and that's what we gonna give them.
This is The High Note.
Detroit. I can't hear you, Maggie. Detroit. I can't hear you, Detroit!
I grew up around music. It's my whole world. If you told 12-year-old me that one day I'd be working for Grace Davis, she's an icon.
This woman doesn't even know your last name.
She does, sometimes.
Stop. I'm not going to tell you guys you're great if you're not great. Do it again.
Damn, the girl still give me goosebumps.
Well, Grace, have you thought any more about the Vegas residency?
Actually, I think it's time I record a new album.
I mean, that's one plan.
What am I supposed to say to her? I'm just a personal assistant, but I'd love to produce your music.
Let me do my job, and you do yours, which is get her coffee, Kleenex, Kotex, and whatever else the hell we've been paying you to do for the last 6 months.
I've been here for 3 years.
You get paid? I thought you were an intern.
My life is a joke! Ugh!
It's really bleak out there for middle-aged singers. In the history of music, only 5 women over 40 have ever had a #1 hit, and only one of them was black.
I've been feeling...
I know everyone is happy with me doing the same show every night. What if there's something more?
Grace, I didn't want to tell you or Jack, but I did a cut of your song.
Hey, I can hear y'all. Y'all know it's a damn microphone in there, right? All we got to do is play it safe and stack some money.
I will decide what I do next.
Is the food coming, sir?
We've been over this. We are not a drive-through.
Well, it should be. It could be.
Oh my God, is that Grace Davis?
No.
The world premiere is in your home on demand May 29th. Go to watchthehighnote.com for more.
Well, that's great. Excellent. We're looking forward to it, Q.
Absolutely. What was it like with that cast there?
Oh, amazing cast. You know, another reason I knew the movie was gonna turn out great. You know, Tracy Ellis Ross. You know, she's had the front row seat to one of the biggest superstars in the world. So I knew she knew how to play this role. Amazing in it. Before, you know, I decided to do the movie, I didn't know really if she could sing or not. So I needed to hear those demos. You know, and once I heard the demos, I was like, okay, this is gonna work all the way around. And you know, Dakota Johnson, up and coming star, you know, she's probably the perfect assistant / producer you ever gonna see. So it was just a cool project to be involved in.
Very good. You know, Q, you're a long distance runner, man, you know, not just for the East Coast, but the whole country and around the world. You know, every time I travel to Africa, Caribbean, people still getting into the music and the vision and the inspiration of Ice Cube. What do you say to our young millennials, you know, who are trying to get into the game, trying to get into the industry? What words of encouragement would you give to young, not only African American millennials, but all young people who have this passion about music, artistry, performance? You know, the game has kind of changed because of the technology, but what word would you give to our young people to inspire them?
You know, do your thing. You know, don't wait for anybody. Stay determined. stay creative. The technology now, to me, is perfect for artists to be themselves and do what they feel and not have to conform to anybody. You know, when we was coming out, we had to basically be discovered. You know, there was a few people doing independent records, but you know, who had that kind of money to gamble on? So only certain few. So it's really all about now, you know, doing you. You know, the youngster soldier boy, you know, in his house, in his, you know, just on his computer, was able to turn himself into, you know, a star. So there's nothing holding you back nowadays. You know, the technology is there. You just gotta, to me, fall in love with the act of creating something new and fresh, and not fall in love with what it can get you. You know, everybody want to make a lot of money. Who don't? You know, but if you do something that you really love and you really are satisfied with finishing a great project, you never know what you get out of that. You know, usually somebody will see it and you'll make a little money off of it. So it's really about falling in love with the creative process, because that fulfills you more than anything.
Absolutely.
Cube, we got people watching from London, Cube, right now. We got a question or a statement, actually. Somebody who's a San Antonio Spurs fan says, Cube, keep doing what you're doing. Your body of work is impeccable. They speak a lot about Tyler Perry. You need to be mentioned in that same conversation. Keep up the good work, my brother. And I want to add to that what this individual is saying, because I said at the top of the show that you're the only artist in history to have at least 5 franchises, movie franchises, that have been both critically successful and box office successful, commercially successful. You ever take a minute to take that in? Because when we think about the movie business, we're thinking about Denzel Washington, Sidney Poitier, you know, Humphrey Bogart, if you want to go back, Edward G. Robinson, and here you stand alone, Q.
Yeah, I mean, you know, especially at a time like this, you definitely look back and appreciate how far you've come. You know, I've always been a person that pretty much let my work speak for itself. You know, I don't need too many pats on the back to do what I do. You know, it's really all about, you know, having the opportunity. You know, like I said, God's blessed me with this opportunity to be as creative as I, you know, want to be. You know, it's even more projects that I want to get into that I don't have time to. But so I'm just in a blessed position. So I just keep my head down, keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully, you know, I'll create something people will like and appreciate. That's really what it's all about. And it's really not about what I've done. It's all about what I'm about to do. You know, because that's history. You know, I'm really, you know, excited about, you know, the new frontier that's ahead of me. You know, that's what it's all about.
Very good. Ice Cube, can you say the importance of the black press in 2020? Information, getting the right information, particularly if the information is culturally sensitive. We got a lot of our publishers that are listening, and our editors and writers. We reach over, 30 million people a week in print, and now we're in digital age. But how important it is for you for the black press?
I mean, you all we got, to be honest. I mean, you're our last line of defense when it comes to truth, and when it comes to, you know, things that are of interest of our people. You know, that's just, you know, something that we must keep intact. We must nurture, fund. We must do everything we can to really keep the black press going. And, you know, like I said, you've been a lifeline to the community, letting the world know what's going on with us, letting us know what's going on with us, because, you know, we're underreported, most of the time underappreciated. So, you know, thank God for the black press. Do not get discouraged by anybody yelling the word fake media. You know, we've been, you know, Chuck D told us don't believe the hype a long time ago, but you got to listen to the people that love you. you know. So, you know, thank God for the black press.
Thank you.
Cube, just so you know, Russell Simmons checked in and says, "Give Cube my undying love." So I just wanted to pass that on to you. Um, we we talk a lot about, we've been talking about your movies. Who would have thought 30 years ago that we'd be talking about Ice Cube being a movie star? But everyone loves those Friday series. Everyone loves the barbershop. We got a publisher, Dr. Chambers had mentioned, and our great publishers. Many of our black publishers are black women publishers. They own, these small businesses. Ice, but she says one of our publishers, Denise Rolock Barnes in Washington D.C., the Washington Informer, says that she really wants another barbershop movie, especially when you think about COVID-19 and nobody's getting cut. What's up with barbershop?
You know, Barbershop is a great franchise. You know, it's a movie that, first of all, shout out to Russell Simmons. I wouldn't be here without him. He, you know, he's definitely, you know, paved the way for artists to be in a position like this, because he saw us bigger than we saw ourselves at the time. So I just want to acknowledge that. But back to Barbershop, it's a great franchise because it's a movie where we get to show and prove that we all don't think alike, you know, that we all got our own individual minds and we all have our own, you know, opinions on certain topics. So that's why that's a great movie. And it pushes, you know, the positivity of a place like the Barbershop. You know, I'm proud because, you know, I've been able to give, you know, make barbers stick their chests out, and hopefully beauticians, anybody who, you know, deals with our beauty and who helps us feel good about ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy to be able to get him, you know, a little badge of honor with a movie like that and celebrate him. But you know, we would love to do another one. You know, the third one we did, you know, we was really looking for the right topic, and we ran across, you know, a guy giving haircuts. You know, if you turn in your guns, they'll give you free haircut. You know, we thought that was a great statement at the time, especially for Chicago, who's going through their problems with gun violence. So, you know, the movie has changed hands. You know, MGM has, you know, come together. I think Warner Brothers has the movie now. Who knows if they'll do another one? You know, right now, movie industry people are really into blockbusters or, you know, comic book movies. You know, it's really hard to get a real, genuine story made on the right level. So, you know, we fighting a good fight. You know, hopefully people will see the worth in doing another one. You know, I would love to do another.
We'd love to see it. Dr. Chavis?
Yes, you know, I was just thinking, first of all, thank you for that great answers to those questions, Ice Cube. I believe that as I look back over the years and as I look into the future, I do think that the browning of America, the place that people of color are beginning to take in our society, despite some of the contradictions. And I think that art and culture is so important. With icons like you, Ice Cube, we've been able to not only deal with the struggle of disappointment, a lot of police brutality is still going on. I mean, you know, F the Police is still a song that people pay attention to. And tragically, we still have a situation where we are disrespected as a people by too many law enforcement. So I just want to again say that we're all very grateful to you, Ice Cube, for not only your longevity, not only your sensitivity, but I would also say your vision of not only how to do you and do for self, and at the same time as you uplift yourself, you uplift your community and uplift our people. I just think it's an overall positive message, and there's so many negatives out here. And that's why I'm so proud of the black press, because we try to focus not only on everything that's going on, but particularly those things that are positive to improve the quality of life of our community. And you, Ice Cube, stand as one of the icons that not only have longevity, but we're going to ride with you. I think Snoop Dogg would say, we're going to ride with you till the wheels fall off.
That's right. You know, I appreciate that. And I'm going to ride with our community till the wheels fall off. I'm black through and through. I don't make no bones about it. And, it's a thing where we all got to, look at each other and help each other. It's a situation too, when you talk about art, when you talk about, what we can contribute, how we can basically vent sometime the frustrations we have in this country, in this world. Art is a great way to do it. Art is a great way to show how you feel inside. So let's not let the arts, go to the wayside just because schools are not paying attention to it. Let's not let music fall to the wayside because they're not doing it in your local schools. There's a lot of talent in our communities. Each one teach one that talent, and let's keep it going, because this is our way to express to the world, the pain and joy that we feel on a day-to-day basis. So we all got to be artists. We all got to do something. Whatever you do, write a poem, draw, get it out you. It's a great way. It's therapeutic too. So, just to me, that's the message. Let's stay artistic. Let's stay creative. Let's show the world how we feel inside through our arts.
Cube, I know we only got a couple more minutes with you, but there's a couple of things that I must say to you. One is from a good buddy of mine, Mark Edmonds, who's been watching. He's got a voice that fits right in there with you and Dub C and Mag 10. Man, he could run with y'all. But he says it's a very cool and introspective interview. He says Cube is a good example that we don't want to judge a book by its cover. And the other thing is, my kids get on me all the time because I always listen to the Players Club, in the club, and that opening.
Yeah.
You got to give me one yay.
Oh, no problem. Yay.
There it is.
Give it to you all day, man. That's my calling card. Everybody all around the world, when they see me, they could be 1,000 feet away. Sorry about that. I hit that. They can be 1,000 feet away. They be like, yay. I gotta give it to them. So I love that. I love that.
And just to Mark Edmonds' point, I'd like to get your quick thought on that. That he says that he calls you a good example that we don't want to judge a book by its cover. And I'm assuming what he means is that when you think about the whole persona, West Coast, South Central, and here you are you making records and breaking records.
It's really like, it's two ways to take that.
Right.
Now, I don't get offended when people judge a book by its cover, because I know you underestimate me, and that gives me the advantage. So, if they want to judge you by how you look, sometimes that's to your advantage, when you can really show them what you're really about. Because once they underestimate you and they're on their heels, then you can always push in what you really want to get through. So I don't mind that. But yeah, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. I never do. You never know what a guy can do. People say, people been watching The Last Dance, Michael Jordan, he was amazing, but so was Rick Barry and Jerry West, and so it's like, you got dudes, you can't really judge a book by its cover. You don't know what somebody can do.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Dr. Chavis.
Well, I know we're at the end. I just want to, on behalf of the Black Press of America, we want to thank you, Ice Cube. We're talking to your management. We got something special. I'm not going to let the thing out of the bag today, but later in the summer, man, we want to kick it with you and do something, man, because we're not only proud of you, we appreciate you, man. And we thank you for keeping your roots in the community, for keeping your soul and your spirit strong, because your strength is our strength. When you win, man, we all win. And so I want to just tell you, keep winning, brother. Keep winning.
Well, I really appreciate you, Dr. Chavis. You've been on the front line. You're what I call a frontline soldier. You won't do something that you don't ask anybody else to do. So I really appreciate, I've been watching you for years. I appreciate you always, taking the time to make sure we are right. So I appreciate everybody on this call. Keep doing what you're doing, because we definitely need it. You know, like I said, you're our last line of defense and the only voice we got sometimes.
Thank you very much. God bless.
One more yay,
All right,
yay.
thank you.
One more yay, yay.
Yay, yay.
There you go. Take care, Q.
Stay safe, everybody.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
You've been watching our live exclusive interview with the one and only Ice Cube. Here, the NNPA is celebrating its 80th anniversary. The Black Press of America has been around 193 years, and you heard it straight from Ice Cube. We are needed, we are relevant, and we are here for you. Dr. Chavis, what does that mean for you that to hear an icon say something like that?
Well, as a significant tribute, Ice Cube was speaking from his heart, and we needed to hear that, because sometimes, in general, not only our businesses but our communities, we tend not to give ourselves enough appreciation. We tend to lower our value in life because others somehow, because of white supremacy, because of racism, because of injustice, because of oppression, they tend to mitigate and lower the value of people of color, particularly people of African descent. So when we have young warrior, freedom-fighting artists, leaders like Ice Cube come on the set and come on the scene, they really make a difference. And I believe that generations to come will not only appreciate the Ice Cubes of this world, the Russell Simmons of this world, the Andre Harrells of this world who just passed, and the Chuck D's of this world, you know, all of our great artists, MC Light, Queen Latifah, and we want to leave our sisters out, you know, all of our sisters and brothers. And it's really, I think it's inspiring for us to certainly continue to support the Black press. We are thankful that the NNPA is now also using this technology to get the word out. So we don't have to be dependent on the sons and daughters of our former slave masters just to get the word out for us. It comes in life when you have to take responsibility for yourself, for your family, and for your community. I heard a lot of love coming out of Ice Cube's mouth, out of his spirit. And I think that's what we need. There's so many of our brothers and sisters who've been devastated by COVID-19. But yet here we are on this day that the Lord has made, hearing from one of our brothers, one of our leaders, who's still on the front line, making a difference. And that's what the Black press is all about, Stacey. And we thank you. You are a senior journalist, investigative journalist, news reporter. Now you've become a great commentator. I've been seeing all of the live streams you've been doing with all of our publishers around the United States. So this is the Black press of America, but it's also the global Black press. People today were listening to this live stream from all over the African diaspora, all over the country, all over the world, and we're going to keep on keeping on.
Yeah, and Dr. Chavis, you know, he also mentioned some interesting things. If you listen carefully to Ice Cube and talking about the Black press, we know that we're going through some hard times. Everyone's going through hard times right now, but our publishers are used to hard times. They have that rhinoceros skin, right? And they're warriors. What message would you have? And I know you speak to the publishers often, but what message can you share with the public that you have shared with the publishers, the Black publishers, to get through this crisis that we're in now?
Thank you. The Black press of America, we are the press of resilience. The Black press of America, we are the press of truth telling, truth eliminated, truth distributed. The Black press of America, we represent 50 million brothers and sisters in the United States of America. But in the larger diaspora, we're talking about billions of African people. So I just want to leave, as we did with Ice Cube, a word of encouragement to all of our publishers, to all of our editors, to all of our journalists. This is the best day for the black press of America. It's not our worst day. This is our best day. And the reason why it's our best day, because for 193 years, God Almighty has blessed the black press to be on the front line. Yes, we've suffered some losses. Yes, we've suffered some setbacks, particularly in the economic field. But by God's grace, we are still here, we're still alive, and we are expanding. I said yesterday that I was so proud that our millennials are returning back to the black press. 20% increase in readership from young people of the black press all over the country. So I'm very hopeful. I'm optimistic. We have to, I was born in North Carolina in a farm community. So we use this term, you have to keep your hand on the plow. You know, if you want to plow a straight row, you look straight ahead. You just can't look backwards and get a straight row. You got to look straight ahead. So black press of America, let's keep our hands on the plow.
Yeah, and Dr. Chavis, I don't know if you've noticed all the comments that have been coming in, like you said, from all over. Megger Reed says the global black press is pressing on.
Yes.
We had a lot of thanks there. Even our chair, Karen Carter Richards, thank you, Ice Cube. Dr. Chavis, you're no stranger to the hip hop community at all. In fact, it can be argued that you were a long time integral part of that community. You've done a lot of things with the hip hop community. When you get someone with the stature of Ice Cube to talk to the black press the way he did, what does that do for you?
Well, I tease people all the time. People say, well, man, why do they call you Dr. Ben? I say, have you ever heard of Dr. Dre? So what I'm trying to tell you is that we've been blessed. I come out of the civil rights generation, and I recognized early that the hip hop generation is an outgrowth of our struggle for freedom, justice, and equality. It's not an appendage. These are our brothers and sisters that we gave birth to. And the next generation is going to come out. Each generation is like running a relay race, Stacy. We have to make sure that we not only pass the baton, but we coach the runner to win the race so they can pass the baton to the next handoff in the relay race. So I am optimistic that the black press of America has a great future. And I can just announce on this live stream that because of COVID-19, our 2020 annual convention for the National Newspaper Publishers Association will be now on July the 8th and July the 9th, 2020. We're going to do a virtual, our first in 193 years. This will be our first virtual national convention. And we're working now to get all of the logistics and the technology together. But as I said at the beginning to answer your question, the black press of America, we are the press of resilience.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you and our chair, Karen Carter Richards, Claudette Perry. I know all of you are working hard and probably with little sleep trying to get things done. And me as an employee really appreciate you, Claudette Perry, Karen Carter Richards, and all of our leaders in the NNPA and the Black.
Absolutely. We have a great chair, Sister Karen Carter Richards, the distinguished publisher of the Houston Forward Times, and we have a great executive committee, a great board of directors, and to all of our publishers out there, I want you to stay strong, keep in prayer, keep our hands in God's hands, and we're going to be all right. I guarantee you that we're going to be all right.
Well, again, 80 years of the National Newspaper Publishers Association, the 80th anniversary. It's a milestone no matter how you look at it. It's a great milestone. 193 years of the most trusted news ever, the Black Press of America. And here's our leader, the president and CEO, Dr. Benjamin Chavis. We thank everyone for tuning in. We certainly special shout out to Ice Cube, of course, and Hilsick Strategies, who represents Ice Cube. Great shout out to them. They do a phenomenal job with all of their clients, not just Ice Cube, but we thank them as well. We thank you all for watching. Tomorrow, tune in, 10 a.m. The Singer Burden will host another live conversation with the HBCU president. And next Monday, we're going to have more of our distinguished publishers on at 1 p.m., our regular time on Monday. So thanks again, everybody. Stay safe, stay well.
All right. God bless America. God bless the Black Press.